A major geopolitical development has taken place today, one that the entire world is watching closely. Russia has officially withdrawn from a key nuclear missile treaty. This treaty, signed back in 1987, was crucial in maintaining global peace. It ensured that both the United States and Russia would not deploy intermediate-range missiles armed with nuclear warheads pointed at each other. But today, that agreement is no more. From 1987 to 2025, this treaty acted as a safeguard, reassuring the world that these two superpowers would avoid direct nuclear confrontation. But now, Russia is making its position loud and clear. We can no longer trust NATO. We can't trust Trump. And honestly, what more can be said about Trump? In a moment, I'll show you the actual tweets being shared by Russian thinkers. But first, let's understand what triggered all this. Trump recently made bold moves, openly targeting both India and Russia. And now 2 nuclear submarines have been deployed by the U.S. dangerously close to Russian territory. Not only that, the U.S. has publicly announced this deployment. This sends a very clear message. If needed, these nuclear submarines are ready to strike. In response, Russia has declared that the treaty which once upheld peace between the two nations no longer holds any value. If the United States is taking such aggressive steps, then Russia sees no point in upholding the agreement. Now let me remind you of a name, Alexander Dugin. I've mentioned him before. He's often referred to as the geopolitical mentor of Vladimir Putin. Every military officer in Russia reads his work. His books are taught in military academies. His ideas have helped shape Russia's strategic worldview. Recently, Dugin tweeted about Trump. It was short but powerful. He wrote, "I've come to a deeply tragic conclusion. Donald Trump is totally mad. It's a shame. We loved him. This sentiment isn't just about Russians. Many around the world, especially those who don't want war, feel betrayed." Dugin has long opposed war as a geopolitical tool. He believes in diplomacy and sees peace as the ideal path. According to him, Trump's pre-election promises of bringing peace were hollow. In reality, he might soon become the cause of a large-scale global conflict. So yes, this is a direct insight into how Putin's strategic advisors are thinking right now. Now you might ask, how does the collapse of this treaty threaten global peace? To understand that, we need to go back to 1987. At the time, US President Ronald Reagan, a visionary leader, joined hands with Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. They agreed that nuclear missiles with a range of up to 5,500 km should not remain deployed at all times. The goal was to reduce the risk of misunderstandings and accidental war. By 1991, over 2,700 such missiles had been destroyed. But you might wonder, the US and Russia are far apart geographically. Would a 5,500 km missile even reach? Here's the reality. Russia is the largest country on Earth. It doesn't need to fire from the Atlantic. It can launch from the Pacific near the Bering Sea, which lies between Russia and Alaska. Over the past couple of years, Russia has been conducting frequent military exercises in this area. Their aircraft constantly fly near Alaska. If Russia places a missile near the Bering Sea with a 5,500 km range, it can easily strike U.S. states like California, Washington, and other parts of the West Coast, some of the most economically important regions of America. That's why this treaty was so important. And just as Russia can do this, the U.S. also has the capability to target Russian territory, and even the UK, with its own long-range missiles. So what's next? Russia's preparing to redeploy its mid-range missile systems. If someday there's a sudden missile or nuclear strike on U.S. soil, many will ask in shock, how did this happen? But those who follow geopolitics closely will know. We've been inching toward this moment step by step. Dmitry Medvedev, a former Russian president, has also made headlines recently. He stated that the deployment of medium and short-range missiles has officially begun, and he warned that more steps will follow, further hinting that Russia may withdraw from other treaties and agreements with the U.S. that were meant to build trust and prevent war. We're moving back to an era much like the 1970s, a time when the world was always on the edge of catastrophic conflict. From an Indian perspective, it will be crucial to see how Ajit Doval, who is soon visiting Russia, handles the situation and what kind of diplomatic conversation takes place.